Welcome to this week's episode. This is Kasha Rashfal. This week, I would like to share with you a few simple techniques that you can use anytime in order to calm down your nervous system and therefore calm down your body. Make sure your energy flow is running in the proper direction so that when you feel staticky, when you feel like you're overthinking, when it feels like your energy is just stretched really thin, kind of like too much air in a balloon, you know what to do to bring your body back into more of an equilibrium. And what this does for you is allows you to manage your stress more easily. It allows you to come into a place of connection with yourself, into a place of presence. And from there, it's a lot easier to make decisions, to think clearly, to know your next step, because you're not trying to figure it out, where your mind's racing or you're feeling over emotional. When you're more quiet and more still on the inside, that's when you can receive your intuition more clearly. And of course, when your intuition is speaking to you and you're hearing it, it's so much easier to then continue moving forward in whatever direction you want to go. Now, this works like magic. It does. But it's not magic, it's science. Many of these techniques come from Donna Eden's energy medicine work, the Touch for Health synthesis, created by Matthew Thie and John Thie and Matthew Thie, his son. And so these are proven techniques that have been used for decades to bring calm and peace to the body. And when we are calm and peaceful, like I said, it's just so much easier to think, to be, and then to take action. So the first technique that I'm going to share with you, and of course, if you're watching on YouTube, you just follow along. If you're on the podcast listening, I will do my best to describe what I'm doing, and then I will share the link to the YouTube video for you so that if you do want to see what I'm doing, you can easily do that. Okay, so I'm going to stand up. And so the first technique, this is a technique called zip ups. And what it allows you to do is get your energy flowing in the proper direction. Our meridians are meant to work a certain way. And if the energy gets clogged or, heaven forbid, runs backwards, we can run into trouble. So this technique is really wonderful, especially if you're overthinking, if your body's feeling really jittery, staticky. What you do is, you starting at your pubic bone with both your hands, you run your hands up your body to your chin, almost like you're zipping up a zipper. So you run your hands up the midline of your body to your chin, and then bring your hands down on the outside of your body, and then keep zipping up 3, 4, 5 times. Okay. Once you've done that a few times, you take one hand, put it on your navel, and then with usually your thumb and one of your other fingers on your other hand, find your collarbones. And then the 2 soft spots right underneath your collarbones, you want to start rubbing those fairly firmly. They may be a little bit tender, that's okay. Optimally, you want to do this for about 15 to 20 seconds, even up to a minute, if it feels like you need that energetic calm down. Okay, so we're rubbing under our collarbones, one hand on the belly, right at your navel. And then what we're going to do is switch hands. So if your left hand was on your navel and your right hand was rubbing under your collarbones, you're going to simply switch. So now your right hand is at your belly button, and with your left hand, you rub under your collarbones firmly. And of course, remember to breathe. This is important. Breathe. Your breath is one of the most helpful tools for calming down a nervous system. The next bit of this, the next zip up, is switch on rather. We're going to keep one hand on the navel. You're going to rub above and below your lips with your thumb and pointer finger. Just side to side gently while you're breathing. And again, after about 15, 30 seconds, you're going to switch hands. And then the last portion of this technique is one hand is going to stay on your navel and you're going to use the other hand to rub on the back side of your body on the tailbone, just up and down on the tailbone. And again, 15, 30 seconds, a minute, and then switch hands. So very, very simple, very, very effective. And breathe. Beautiful. So that's called your switch ons and zip ups. So again, you run your hands up the front of your body, up the midline, from your pubic bone to your chin, 5 times-ish, let's say, and then your hand on the navel, rubbing under your collarbones, switching hands. The next part is hand on the navel, rubbing above and below your lips, switch hands, hand on the navel, rubbing up and down on your tailbone, and then switch hands. So that's the first one. The next technique that, again, I talk about this one all the time because it's so effective, is simply holding 2 fingers on your forehead right above each of your eyeballs. So about midway on your forehead, above each of your eyeballs. If that's too complicated or feels too weird, you can simply take the whole palm of your hand and place it on your forehead and hold it there, which allows the energy to come to your frontal cortex, allows you to begin to regain your cognition, your clear thinking. And breathe. Beautiful. If you want to do the expert version of this one, what you can do is, so you make the okay sign. Okay, so this looks like, so for those of you listening, your pointer and thumb make a circle, and then your other fingers stick straight up. You take your pointer and thumb, put them against your temple very lightly, and your other 3 fingers across your forehead. Again, I will put the YouTube link below in the show notes so you can watch this if you want. And you hold there and breathe. And again, you can hold for 15 seconds, 30 seconds, up, a minute or even several minutes while you breathe to calm your nervous system down. The next technique, this one is super powerful, very, very simple. It's called a hookup. You take one hand, put it across your belly button or right at your belly button, the other one at your third eye. So you can use 2 fingers, 3 fingers, and you gently lift in both places. So lift just a little bit, like you're trying to pull up at your belly button and pull up at your third eye. And again, breathe. I can feel my system relaxing as I'm doing this for you. Beautiful. So again, these are very simple. So I'll just run through those again. You can hold your whole palm of your hand across your forehead for, 30 seconds, breathe. Or you can make that okay sign with your pointer and thumb, put those across your temples and the other 3 fingers across your forehead, breathe. And then the hookup, which is where you place your hand, one of the fingers, let's say 2 fingers of your hand on your navel, the other 2 fingers on your third eye, and you gently lift and breathe. Breathing is so important. And then the last one, gosh, there's so many, but these are just the ones that I love to, these are my go-tos because they work so well. What you do is you place the palms of your hand at the sides of your face very gently. You don't need to squish your head or anything like that. Palms at the side of your face, and you go up and you trace the palms of your hand behind your ears, down your head, down your neck, down to your shoulders, and then you can cross your arms and run them down each arm, and then across your fingers. So again, I'll demonstrate. So you place the palms of your hand at the side of your face, trace behind the ears. You can go slowly down your neck, down your shoulders, cross your arms at your shoulders, and run down each arm to the ends of your fingers. Okay, I'll do that one more time. And what we're doing here, like that. So what we're doing here is we're working with certain meridian systems in order to make sure that the energy either slows down in them or runs the proper direction to calm the rest of the system down. There's a whole bunch of science behind it. I'm not going to go into it in this podcast, but oh, actually, before I sit back down, I'm going to show you just a more discreet way, because sometimes, you're in a crowd of people or, in a meeting and maybe you don't want to start doing these energy techniques. What you can do, if you don't want to, touch your face, if you want to be more discreet, what you can do is simply cross your arms and run your hands down your arms like this. So you put your left hand on the right shoulder, your right hand on the left shoulder, and you run down your arms with each hand. It's a little more discreet if you're in a crowd of people. And then the one that is the most discreet, but also works really well, is you take the palm of your hand and you place it at the side of where your rib cage is, kind of like where for ladies, your bra line would be, okay? And the other arm you place above your elbow on the other hand. So it's like you're crossing your arms, but you're activating certain acupressure points on certain meridians on your body. And again, you don't have to press very hard. You can simply hold your arms there. It doesn't matter which arm over which. But again, you're telling your system to start sending the energy flowing in a proper way, right, in a proper manner, and it begins to calm your nervous system down. So you can use any of these techniques anytime you need to, whichever one you remember. One is not better than the other. It's really a matter of being consistent with them. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments or reach out to me and I'd be happy to chat with you more about this. I would also love to know, have you tried these? And how did they work for you? And of course, if you need a session to help your nervous system release the stress, relieve some burden, do some healing, let's do that, because if you're anything like me, chances are over the years, the stress has built up. And one session may not solve everything, but it is a great start. And then if you find that you love the work, we can continue working together. And of course, I wanted to invite you to the free embodied intuition training I'm doing this Friday, September 8th. I will put the link to that in the show notes as well, where we're going to be talking about how to really hone the body or use the body as the instrument of intuition, what gets in the way of intuition, and how we can get more precise at hearing our own intuition. I hope to see you there, and I will see you next time on the podcast.